Hey, what's going on, guys? So it is currently 2:45 in the morning, and I am up. I barely sleep anymore. I wanted to basically make a quick story time of how I'm glad I wasn't her first choice. I'm glad I was rejected. I'm glad I was called lame and overlooked. And basically, there is this one girl. I'm not gonna say any names. Um, she she liked me, but she didn't like me enough to be together with me. She didn't want to see me. She didn't want her friends to see me in public, basically. This is back in like 2010, 2011. And I actually remember when I used to kind of like, I was a big simp back in the day, back when I was like 20, 21, 22. I was a big simp. And, I realized that she had some problems that I was trying to help her out with. I think one time she was in college and I helped her with her homework, and I actually helped her pass her class because I was doing half of her homework, and I was actually in college too, so I was doing my college homework and her college homework to help her out because it was easy. It was way easier. It was like associate's degree or something like that. Anyway, um, so there was one time, me and her were kind of hanging out, but not really. She kept looking at her phone, and I was sitting there like, what are we? What really are we? Are we, trying to make something work or not? And she looked at me with a look of contempt, almost like, don't bother me. All right, just shut up. And um, I never forgot that look. I never forgot that look of like disgust and of uncomfortableness just because I asked her, "Hey, I want to understand what our future." And she didn't want a future. And she told me that, like right there. She was like, "Look, you're a nice guy. You're a great catch. I'm sure you'll be a great boyfriend someday," which I never was to anyone. But she did say how, I don't see us being together. We can be friends though. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Of course, me being stupid back in like 2010, 2011, I thought that was a good deal. Yeah, this is yeah, this is me like back when I was really young. And I ran into that a lot in my 20s. I ran into that every single time. So I stopped really communicating with her after about 3 weeks after that. I stopped communicating, and it was just kind of like, I noticed little patterns. Like she only contacted me when she needed help or a ride to work, and she wasn't giving gas money, and she just kind of wanted to just use me for labor. She was a typical female friend. A lot of the females in men's lives are not good friends because they don't do anything. All right, look. You can get mad at me if you want. I don't care, but from my personal experience, a lot about 95% of female friends, they're not your friend. They want something, and they just want to take. That is all I've experienced my whole life since 2002 at 14 years old, and I'm 38. So for 24 years that I've, and there is a breakoff point where I just stopped talking to people. But before my age of now, currently, all the girls needed something, all the girls wanted something, and they never really gave me anything back in return. And, I never wanted to really sleep with these people because I was just trying to be a good person. And, the older you get, the more you realize most people just want to use you for something, so you might as well discard them and throw them away like they're trash. Like human life is basically trash at this point, and it's okay to think that way. And your friends are trash, basically. Just throw them away like pieces of paper. Like they're not worth anything, basically. And you'll understand that when you get older, like me. That's how I understood stuff. I got older, and I realized that hard life lesson. Like most family members, most friends, they're trash. You throw them away, you discard them, and then you walk away without feeling anything. That's basically how you treat people, because that's how people treat people. And I just kind of realized that most specifically this person just wanted to use me for whatever she could get out of me. And with that being said, I discarded her, and then she ended up getting mad. She actually ended up getting upset at me for doing that. I wasn't mad. I wasn't screaming at her. I didn't do anything bad. I just went silent. I went ghost. And she noticed that. So when I moved on, all of a sudden she gave me all this attention, and I was disgusted with her. So, and of course, other things happened that I won't discuss because it's a bit personal. But that is primarily what ended up happening in this story time. I wanted to define what was going on. I wanted to be respectful and cordial. That, of course, did not work. That never works as usual. And basically, she got mad at me when I respected her answer and walked away. When I respected her answer and walked away, it became a problem. She wanted me to basically surround her only when she needed me, and that was it. So that is about it for this story. I have a couple more coming this week that's going to be quite interesting. I'm upgrading my thumbnail. I'm making my thumbnails more cooler, and I'm glad that I'm doing that. So I hope you guys can enjoy the video, and with that, I will say goodbye.